The first rule of fake dating your best friend? Don't stare at his lips during your fake couple photos. I learned this the hard way on day 1 of Operation Make David Regret Everything. We staged our first relationship reveal at The Grind, this coffee shop David and I used to go to every Sunday. Jake showed up wearing that stupid gray Henley I'd once drunkenly told him made him look like a rom-com lead. He'd even trimmed his beard, which meant he was either committed to the bit or... No, best not to think about the or. Ground rules, he said, stirring his black coffee like it had personally offended him. No PDA beyond hand-holding, no pet names, and for the love of God, don't do that thing where you feed me fries like we're in a damn McDonald's commercial. I rolled my eyes. Relax, method actor. We just need David to see us together. 1 photo is enough. Famous last words. Because right as I reached across the table to adjust his collar, read, "Give potential onlookers a perfect view of us looking cozy." The bell above the door chimed, and there he was. David. With Rachel. Holding 2 iced coffees and her waist in that obnoxiously possessive way he used to hold mine. Time did that weird slow-motion thing where I noticed every detail. Rachel's chipped pink nail polish. The way David's smile froze when he saw us. How Jake's hand suddenly found mine under the table, his thumb brushing my knuckles like we'd done this 1,000 times. "Well, this is awkward," Jake murmured. Not to me, to them, with this infuriatingly casual grin like we'd just won something. Pause, let the tension build. What happened next plays in my head like a bad sitcom. David storming over, me squeezing Jake's hand too tight, Rachel looking back and forth between us like she was watching Wimbledon. And Jake? Jake dropped the bomb neither of us had planned. "Hey man," he said, all easy confidence. "Guess we both upgraded, huh?" The look on David's face, somewhere between heartbreak and indigestion, should have been everything I wanted. But all I could focus on was how natural Jake's arm felt around my shoulders, how his cedar and mint smell was overriding David's old cologne in my memory, how my pulse jumped when he whispered, "Play along," against my temple before kissing the top of my head. And that's when I realized the fatal flaw in my genius plan. You can't fake intimacy with someone who knows you better than you know yourself. The ride home was silent except for Jake's death grip on the steering wheel. I kept waiting for him to crack a joke, to call me dork like he had since college, to be Jake. Instead, he just turned up the radio until Arctic monkeys drowned out all the things we weren't saying. "You okay?" he finally asked when he pulled into my driveway. He looked miserable, I said. "It worked." Jake nodded slowly. "Yeah, mission accomplished." Neither of us moved to unbuckle our seatbelts. The air between us felt charged, like right before a thunderstorm. I wanted to say something, thank him, apologize, something. But my brain kept replaying the way his lips had brushed my hair at the café. How for one terrifying second, I'd wondered what they'd feel like. "We should do it again," I blurted out. "For consistency." Jake's knuckles went white on the wheel. "Define it." "More dates, more photos. Really sell it." Even as I said it, I knew this wasn't about David anymore. Pause, let the realization land. Jake turned to study me, his hazel eyes darker than I'd ever seen them. "Mandy," he said carefully, "what exactly are we doing here?" I didn't have an answer, so I did what I always do when cornered. I deflected. "Scared you can't handle pretending to love me, Thompson?" The second it left my mouth, I wished I could claw it back. Because Jake's expression did something complicated before shuddering completely. "Yeah," he said flatly. "That must be it." He waited until my front door closed behind me to peel out of the driveway. That night, Instagram delivered the final twist. David had posted a selfie with Rachel captioned, "When you realize what real love looks like." And right there in the comments, Jake's burner account, yes, he'd made one just for this, with a single fire emoji. I texted him, "Since when do you know how to use emojis?" His reply took 3 hours. "Since I decided to ruin your ex's life. You're welcome. Attached was a photo of us from today, one I hadn't seen him take. My head was thrown back mid-laugh, his arm slung over my shoulder, sunlight catching the silver in his watch. We looked happy, real, like a couple who didn't need to pretend. And that's when the second realization hit. This stopped being about revenge the moment I started checking my phone for Jake's texts instead of David's.